everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy, and we hope we're going to have a great show lined up for you tonight. Mr. John Lindsey with all queued up, and his awesome rubs that he has, his Arcasipi combo, hit him and Mr. Ronald Burns. And we're going to get a chance to pick John's brain a little bit about some of the things that's going on in the SCA. We're looking forward to a great show tonight. We're going to be diving into several different topics that I've kind of got for him. And I hope you find it of interest to all the steak cookers out there. So we're going to give everybody just a few minutes to come in and welcome everybody. I see Mr. Gordon's here with us. Rick, we appreciate you being here. I always can count on you too. Seems like every weekend and week out you guys are always here with us. Raz, appreciate you being here tonight. And yeah, we're going to have some fun stories with John. He's always a good one to have. He's got a lot of stories to tell us. And can't wait to pick his brain a little bit because I got a few questions to ask him about the SCA and flavor profiles and stuff like that. So if y'all have any questions for John tonight, and I'll mention it now, we'll also mention it here as we get closer. Certainly we do want to come out and ask John if there's something he feels like he can answer openly. He will. I know how he is. And try to help everybody out. Big Jim Hudgens in the house. We appreciate you being here. Chuck, certainly appreciate you here. That Carly girl, man, I'm telling you, she is on absolute fire. Another first place in the pork chop. I know she's getting close to the age, Chuck, so how many more months does she have before she can start competing against the adults? Because I'm sure all the adults are probably going, oh great, Carly's here, this is wonderful. So I know she's got to be getting pretty close. At least I think I've heard that mentioned in the past, and I may be wrong on that, but let us know. Be curious to see. But she's been on absolute fire. And I know a couple of these, I know Rick, man, you have been tearing it up this year. You've had a great year, Raz. All of y'all have been doing very, very good. And I know Gordon's got the entire family out there cooking now, and he better look out because his wife may just push him right on to the side. Seems like she's got the whole grill and everything going. So it's so great to see somebody that's new into the SCA competition, goes in, cooks a little bit, and now the whole family is involved a year later. So let's see, I was right. October 20th, going to her first cook in Liberty on the 30th. I knew she was getting pretty close. Man, I tell you what, tell her good luck. I think she's going to do absolutely fantastic. Mr. Terry Roan is in the house. Terry, I hope you're doing good. I didn't get a chance to see how you did this weekend. I don't know if you're still right there at the top first or second. I know you was right there, and if you know where you're at, let us know, Terry. I've been trying to keep up with that, but man, Terry has just had an absolute lights out year and cooking incredibly well, and it is great to have him on the show tonight as well. So got folks steadily coming on, and just let us know once again if y'all have any questions. We're going to get Mr. John on here tonight. Oh, Terry says he's still in first place. Man, that is awesome, Terry. Congratulations. You know, the year's winding down. We got, what, 2.5 months left for the season end. So I had a chance to visit with Terry when he was at the American Royal, and he said, I just want to get 15 first place and just wrap it up. I was like, hey, swing for the fence if you're going to do it. So anyway, but you've had a great year, Terry, and congratulations. A lot of people have been buying your class like crazy here in the last 2 months, and I guess it has probably a lot to do with how successful you've been on the Go Back to the Basic 2018 tour. You've done very, very well. Mr. Ronald Burns is with us tonight. Appreciate you being here, Ronald. And man, looks like y'all. And by the way, I think if I recall seeing today, happy anniversary to you and Melissa. So I don't remember how many years it was. If I recall, it was in the 30s, maybe 35, 36 years, long time. And I know not only is a wonderful wife, but a great cooking partner, and you're probably scared to death anytime she throws a steak on the grill. So these women, I'm telling you, they are absolutely just ferocious. Seeing more and more ladies winning these SCA competitions, and definitely last year was a year for the ladies with Marissa winning the winning the overall championship, and Sandy winning the points championship last year. So you guys have got y'all's work definitely cut out for you. So Nathan, thank you for being here tonight. I hadn't seen you in a while. Glad you're here, and hope that you are doing well. So I hope the weather's been good for everybody. Man, well, I'm so excited that we've got fall finally coming. We're finally going to have a nice cool snap here in Louisiana coming in this weekend. And I'm excited about it because I love cooking in the cool weather. This past weekend, our barbecue travels took us to the huge town in Midway, Texas. Population 235, but it is a great cook-off. It was for the Midway Volunteer Fire Department. The whole town comes out, supports this local fundraiser every year that they do a competition and selling cakes for $500 left and right to raise money. It's a great deal, and Sherry and Lance just do an absolute phenomenal job. I've been to it. I think this is my third time. I was blessed with the first place rib, and I think we had an 11th place chicken, 13th place brisket. Finished 5th overall because now IBCA is using cumulative points. And I was a little discouraged to see. I went in the final top. They advanced 15 boxes to the finals, and I went in 13th place. But when the 15 goes head to head, I finished first place on the table. And we've been trying to get them to reset the scores, but they're not doing it, and I just don't think it's real fair to have teams come in being 20, 30 points behind. You're not going to make it up. So I went in 13th. I was first place on the table of everybody. I beat the second place person out by over 4 points, and I still remain 13th. I haven't quite figured out how this works yet. So anyway, but we've had a good time. We're going to another competition this weekend in Rosevine, Texas. Now this is out in the middle of a cow pasture. It's just in the middle of nothing, but it is the biggest party in a cow pasture in the United States. All the surrounding little rural area folks come out. They'll have a big party on Friday night, and I have a band coming out on Saturday. It's a big fundraiser for someone in that area that's had cancer. They've had this competition for several years. I've got some big trophies back here from, I said Rosevine, it was Rosevine's Gravel Hill area. And we have a great time out there. And we're going to have some beautiful weather this coming weekend, and can't wait to go out and cook. So got a few folks coming on. Zach, appreciate you being here and possibly cooking. Oh, good. Glad to see you back out cooking a little bit. Candace, we appreciate you being here. And thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. And Candace, we would love to have you join us. Yeah, maybe one day I may actually get out and do some. So anyway, without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour, Mr. John Lindsey. We got him back in the room, and he is here with us now, Mr. John Lindsey, all queued up. Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. Good to be here with you tonight, and always love to be on board with you, and appreciate you having me on.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been a while. I can't even remember the last time we had you on, and I sit there and I saw your trophy. Congratulations, man. You are coming off of a huge win this weekend over in Mississippi. Yeah, I saw that trophy and I was like, man, that's nice.
The thing about it is, that's one of my favorite ones, and I'll tell you why. When you look at it, it says, in memory of Mason Keith Burns in support of Le Bonheur Children's Hospital.
Right.
And those are the kind of contests that mean something to me, and especially with Ronald's family being supported and them supporting Le Bonheur. If you were going to win one, that's one that you'd want to be a part of. And by the way, I want to say happy anniversary to Ronald and Melissa Burns, 36 years.
Yeah.
She's been putting up with him for 36 years.
Can you
it
believe
takes a
that?
good woman to, and I just want to say happy anniversary. I couldn't ask for a better partner in business, and I'm just thankful for them. Great family.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Good. I wonder how many skillets she went through over those 36 years.
I don't know. Stubborn as Ronald is, there's probably been a bunch of them. I don't
Probably
know.
So. Probably so. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it's great to see, families that are staying together 36 years. I mean, that's a lifelong partner right there. And I saw Robbie Royal and And Stephanie, they had an anniversary. I think it was yesterday, and they've been married 20 plus years. And I think he said she was her high school sweetheart. And,
Right.
And so it's great to see that. It really is. So
It really is.
But yeah, Bob said you got some great hardware, and I'm like you. There's certain competitions that mean a lot, especially those that support people that are in need and stuff like that. This little old competition I'm doing out in the cow pasture, it's the biggest party in a cow pasture in the United States, I promise you. But it's for a good cause. I found out a couple years ago, he had kind of told me the story, and I don't remember the man's name, but it was cancer, and they always try to raise money to help for all that stuff, and it's a great deal. I was talking to a friend of mine today about, a lot of these cook-offs that we go to. It's a Make-A-Wish Foundation, it's a volunteer fire department, it's a 4-H club. And, he thought we just went to he's like, why are y'all going to such small towns? But he didn't realize that, we're going for a cook-off for a fundraiser for these people. Mm-hmm. And it's so great to be able to know that we can come in, we can help, we get to be with our family, and at the same time raise money for these promoters trying to raise money. So
yes, sir. And it makes all the difference in the world for me. And, I think I kind of speak for Ronald on this because I know his heart about it. We search for the contests that mean something, really. I mean, we'd rather go cook a contest that means something to somebody, that's going to be a help, that's going to be, and he's kind of mentioned several times about how the SCA platform has allowed them to raise the money they have. I mean, like last year, I think it was $26,000 for Le Bonheur. This year, I don't know exactly what they hit, but they got close in there. I mean, with everything going on, COVID, everything that you can think of, that's just a great platform. And we know stakes have gotten higher, but people have bonded and banded together, and it, it was just a great time. And we try to find those that mean something to us, and and that's what we try to support. And I think that's just the way we do it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. I like to go to these competitions and do that and support these people. And a lot of times we like to get in on Thursday so we can go to these little small towns. We always go out and eat. Suzette loves to go shopping in these little small towns, spend some money, put some money through the town, helps their economy. And they're taking the time out to let us come in and do that. We want to give back to them as well. Right. So that's something that we always try to do.
Yes, sir.
Well, Stephen wants to certainly thank you. John's Barbecue Champ Academy class is the foundation of any success I've ever had. Best investment I've ever made. Thanks to both John and Mike for making it available. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for those good words. One thing Mike told me before I ever came down and done the class, he said, John, if you're going to come down and do a class, he said, if you can't come down and give everything you got, you might not want to do it. He said, we're in the process of trying to put something out for other people and to give back. And so when I came down, it was no holds barred. That process has won countless contests, and I don't know how many top tens that one's responsible for. But I'm still doing, and it's so funny, Mike. There's a few little flavor profiles that have changed because we've swapped some rubs out, some things. But let me tell you, that technique and that process has never, ever changed. Yeah. It's exactly the way it is in that class. And I just believe that someone could take that class and flatten the learning curve pretty quick. There's a lot of good classes out there, but I know that one works, and we're proud of it. We really
Well, Caitlin said, John's Barbecue up my state game so much, I definitely would be where I am today without his class and continued guidance. And that guidance I think goes a long ways. With the Facebook page, the private Facebook page that we have. Right. I think that is something that's really huge. You're always in there. You're letting them know, hey, I've changed up this, I've changed up that. So as you have made some changes in the flavor profiles and the rubs, you went right into the class, and I think we've got it tagged right at the top of the Facebook page.
Well, before I took my class, do you remember? I think you remember it, but in my class, I will give this one thing away, Mike. It's but everybody knows it. Before, I brought down a new rub for that class,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared that rub with anybody that would take it, and it was Hotty Toddy Climax.
Yep.
You said you picked it. I remember you picking it up and said, "What is this? I've never seen this." I said, "This is my friend. This is before me and Ronald went into Arcsippy together."
Yep.
I said, "This is a great rub." I said, "I'm going to use it on my backyard steak here today," and we shared that with the world. And I'm just going to tell you, you tasted it that day, and you said, "Boy, that's unique." And anybody that tasted, we say about the Climax, it's good on everything from popcorn to pasta. And so, but it's unique. And so, we try. There wasn't an Arcsippy combo in existence then. I was using other flavors, but when we started hitting with this Arcsippy combo and our game up, we started sharing with others how we could up their game and continue to bring them right on along. So that's the beauty of these classes and that private Facebook group.
Yeah, it really does. It really does help, and it just, I love this one. John, he needs to do a dancing class now after we saw him cut a rug in Boonville.
Well,
yeah, that's funny. So
we had to, can you imagine me doing a poke salad Annie?
No.
Elvis impersonation. Well, somebody's got it on videotape.
Oh, well, we need to see that. It needs to get posted.
They will blackmail me with that one of these days. I've got I've got a team that's second to none. I promise you, the people that are my friends and that that are on our Arcsippy team and that support everything that we do. And our teammates, I guarantee you, they will have a way of bringing that out. Somewhere down the line. I don't know where it is, but
they're going to hold you hostage at some point. So,
and by the way, I'd like to take just a minute and say there'll be several of them watching here tonight that are our teammates. I don't know of any team I'd rather be. I appreciate them letting me be part of a team like America's Team Arcsippy. I'm honored just to be part of that with this great group of cooks and with these great folks. Men, women, boys, and girls. We got Arcsippy, we got Team Arcsippy and Arcsippy Kids and Arcsippy Nation and all these folks. And I just can't tell you, just for me to be able to be a part of it means a lot. And I've made such good friends, and I thank them for every minute that I get to spend with them.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it is a good family, and they're always giving you shout outs and props for using yours and Ronald's rubs. We still have a few people continuing to give us shout outs on Barbecue Champ. It's nothing like what it was last year. Last year they were screaming from the rooftops for Barbecue Champs, and it hasn't been quite as much this year. I don't know if now people just don't want everybody knowing, but it really, it's just people still find us because we still sell classes every single month. And John, I was looking through your stuff. You have sold well over 200 classes since you started, way over 200 classes. And it's a tribute to, here's Nathan. You can use John's technique with just about any seasoning on the market as long as you know how to use the seasoning. And I think that's got a lot to it right there. It really does. So
that's true. And the reason we developed the Arcsippy combo, Nathan is exactly right. You can use any seasoning as long as you balance it out. The reason we created the Arcsippy combo and put these together and spent time gelling these together is because it just makes the learning curve that much easier. When you start out with balanced flavors, balanced flavors win. And I know we'll talk in some flavor profiles in a little bit, but that's what wins. People talk about putting the pop and wanting salt and wanting this. Hey, that's all well and good. But, buddy, if it's not balanced, I'm telling you, judges want balanced flavors. And so when you start out with that to begin with, it's just easier to build that foundation and let those flavors take care of the flavor profile. And then you can worry about your doneness and your texture. And Lord knows we got to worry about texture and doneness. That's the two killers right now. So that's where me and Ronald have kind of gelled our stuff together and figured out and took a lot of time in figuring out what works in that group. So that kind of makes it easier.
Easier. Yeah. And a lot of people worry, I've talked to Terry about this, and I've talked to Matt about this. And everybody is so hung up on the rub part of it when Terry and Matt both have said that's only one part of the score. You still have appearance, you still have taste, you still have texture. You've got to get all of those right before you even have to worry about the taste. It's not all. If you so what? You got a 54 on taste.
Yeah.
So what? If you bombed on the other three, it really doesn't matter. So don't you?
Yes, and there's some people there's some people. It's no secret. There's some people that's figured out a secret code out here that goes across states and goes across the board. I don't want to brag on him too much, but let's take Ronald Burns for instance. He does well here. He went to Pennsylvania. Him and Melissa, and we say Ronald. Let's put Melissa in the equation. She'll tell me every now and then. She says, "What am I, chopped liver?" She.
Yeah.
But Melissa is pound for pound one of the best cooks on the circuit. She's proven that time after time, and she wound up in that octagon with the best of the best and won the thing here just a few weeks ago in St. Louis. Proves a testament to what she can do. They go to Pennsylvania. We do run a lot of Southern contests because we haven't had to move a whole lot. We've had enough contests here that we didn't have to drive 6 or 8 hours to go to others. But Ronald took a notion to go to Pennsylvania. We got a lot of teammates up there. I couldn't go on that trip, but he did, and he walked away. I believe between him and Melissa, they walked away with 4 or 5 of those big saw blades and had some of the highest taste scores. And the reason is because the flavor profiles, they work, but they figured out how to hit that winning combination and get the appearance and the texture and it's a cumulative thing, and so you got to hit them all. And I'm going to tell you, 49s won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You can probably ask Terry Rohn that. He's hitting lights out here, and he'll tell you, probably the first to tell you, 49's just, you're going to have some 50s, and you're going to have a pretty high taste score anymore to be able to really get out there and compete in most of these contests.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah. I believe it 100%. I really, really do. And I've always said good barbecue travels, and I'll say the same thing for steak. A good steak travels no matter where you go. If you've got something that's good, you cook it. People ask me all the time, well, do you change flavor profiles? I'm running my same recipe that I ran on brisket in 2018. And it does not matter if I go to Dallas area, if I go down to South Texas, if I go down to South Louisiana, Central Louisiana, or up here in the East Texas area. It travels. Everywhere I go, I don't change nothing on that brisket. Same thing with my ribs. My ribs travel. And it's finding that flavor profile that works everywhere you go. And do I make tweaks here or there? On brisket, don't ever touch it. I do I'm like a robot when it comes to that brisket. My ribs, this weekend I played around and I actually used a finishing dust on my ribs to put a little bit of heat in it. Not much. I haven't done it in a long time. And I was like, maybe my ribs need a little more pop to them. And, it worked out. So, but when I bit into it, I was like, oh, a little hot, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
But, sometimes I will play with that. So, and it's just some of the stuff that you have to tweak, little small tweaks. So,
and even within a category, so if we're talking about flavors, let's go ahead with it just a minute, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about flavors, and we got a lot of steak cooks on here tonight. The first thing someone will do is get a bad taste score, or maybe not bad, but not really where it needs to be. And the first thing they want to do is start adjusting rubs.
Yeah.
Well, folks, there's a lot more goes into your taste score than just the rub. You have to look at, if you're marinating, your marinade, the length of time it stayed in that marinade. That's one thing. It does add some flavor.
Yep.
But here's the part that people never really catch on to much. They'll start adjusting rubs, but their grill may be running 700 degrees. I promise you, if you get a bad char mark in a judge's mouth, that you will get a bad taste score.
Bad taste score. Absolutely.
some people will put a chunk of wood in, or they'll have a dirty grill, and it tastes just dirty. And
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a lot of things that go into that flavor score. Brent Howard, he's on here with us tonight. He's part of our team, and he does a lot of cooking around me and with me. We kind of set up together a lot, and I've seen Brent take a pellet grill and just knock your eye out with it. I mean, he's just almost deadly with the thing. That's a pellet grill cooking steak,
Yeah.
but it's so clean. It's
Yeah.
such a clean. I think one of the things that he's having such success on that pellet grill, the wins and the top fives that he's hitting. He's moved on into the top 20 now, just over the last several contests. I think that pellet grill is so clean. It doesn't put a lot of char on there. And it still is able to, when you cut that steak open, you can even overcook it just a little bit, but it still looks a little bit more red on the inside. If you know how to use one of those, it's an advantage, and he's tapped into that. So
Yeah.
I think all those things go into that flavor profile when you're working about it.
People don't realize that. We was cooking in Ennis, Texas 2 weeks ago. Good buddy of mine, Tim Woodridge, and his son Zach were cooking. I mean, they are both been on fire on brisket. And Zach's just been tearing it up left and right. And went over there after they turned in brisket. I said, "How was everything?" Zach said, "My brisket's horrible." I was like, "Oh, don't, you're just telling me." He said, "No, my brisket was horrible." He said it had a horrible, horrible flavor to it. He said, "I think my pit's just dirty. My pit was just," he said, "it just," I said, "Oh, you're just saying that." They call top 10. He doesn't get called. He goes over there and looks at it, and he finished dead last on brisket. He was not kidding me. And he said, "My drum was dirty, and it just wasn't clean, and it just gave it a bitter," it probably had some Chris Oak flavor coming off into it. So people that don't think a grill can affect a steak, it can affect any piece of meat that you put in there. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Let's talk about drums just a minute, because you may have some barbecue cooks out there. A drum is a great representation of a cooker where everything is enhanced in that drum. So it's more like a grill than anything you're going to get, because it's got direct heat. So let's relate it. And this is the way I learned my grilling style from off the drums, because anybody that knows me knows that I've cooked on drums for years. That was what I competed in barbecue on, and love them. But you've got to know how to cook on one.
Right.
Now, so here's the deal. If you watch your drum, just watch the smoke coming out of that drum, and when it begins to dirty up because you've got such fat content dripping on the fire, and you're getting all of that flavor. Now, that's a good thing. A little bit goes a long way in a competition.
Yeah.
You want some of that. But I have my drum set up where I can either put a pan in under it and catch most of that until I want it to give you that flare up. And then I'll switch. I'll move the meat around on the other side and let it do that for a certain length of time. I believe there's a lot of people cooking steaks, especially these upper 2/3 choice and Wagyus, and they're scratching their head because they can't get the flavors right. Well, you're getting a lot of that grease that's dripping down on that fire, and even in that short time of cooking, you're getting an off-putting flavor out of that grill, and it's affecting those flavor scores more than your rub will ever. If you can keep a balanced flavor, balance it out, and keep that all the way across, you will find that you'll win and have higher taste scores more than not, if you don't do something to mess it up with a dirty grill or too much smoke on it or something.
Yeah. There's your pro tip of the month right there. You don't think you were going to try to get some information? There it is. You need to put that one in the books, because he's 100% right. It definitely has an effect on it. So
well, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to make anybody mad, but this is the truth. I'm being honest. Some of your top cooks, and we won't go into mentioning who they are, but I've tried their steaks. And some of the best cooks out there that's winning every week in and week out, if you were to bite into that steak, Mike, you would say it would be a little bit on the bland side steak. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
It's a balanced, but it's a little more bland. Nothing sticks out.
Yeah.
And that, you know, in barbecue, it wins.
That's
In
exactly
steak,
right.
it wins too.
Yeah.
And you want something to enhance the meat. Now, people look at me funny and look at Ronald funny when we tell them we're putting 7 and 8 rubs on a steak. Well, sure we are. We're using 7 or 8 products right now. I'm using. I've included Big Jim Hudgens Steak and More into our profile, which it's a part of that profile. Look at Rick Manzi there, and he's
Yeah.
one of the good. Hey, Rick Manzi's one of the best of the best. He
is
believes
hot.
there's misconception. Low taste scores does not translate into add more rubs or finishing rubs.
That's right.
That's right, Rick.
That's 100%. It could actually mean you need less.
100%.
You could actually need less. Take it off. If you get low taste scores, back it off and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what you was just saying.
Now, with the Big Jims and of course, Mr. Hottie Toddy's got a new rub out called Climax Double X.
Mm-hmm.
And that little joker is a fireball. It is a secret weapon in a bottle. I love the product. To me, it's his best rub that he has on the market. Really like it. It's got very versatile. I pair it with that new Bold. And Mike, I've let you try that Bold, and you know kind of what it's about. It's an enhanced SPG.
Yeah,
we worked those into our flavor profile. Now the Bold is not out yet. We've been putting it through the paces.
Okay.
Making a few little tweaks. It's not on the market, but here's the deal: we take those 2 rubs and add a little Big Jims, and we do a little something special with that. And we'll be updating once the Bold comes out. We'll be updating the Barbecue Champs folks with that. But what I'm getting at is, you find out those little nuances within the balanced flavors that the judges just seem to bite on. And those 3 together just seem to be on top of our other, we call them base rubs. We've got 4 of them, and we've got the other 3 that we use in conjunction. And so we're doing some things with them, and I'm just really happy with those results. My taste scores have went up a couple of points just by making those little tweaks. But it's still a balanced flavor.
Yeah.
It's still balanced.
Now, Steven says you can't go wrong with Arkansas combos. I've had a top 3 call in 5 different states. Thank you, John and Ronald. So,
thank you, Steve. Yes,
I mean, those they work. You know, I mean, they just absolutely work. And like I said, it gets back to that good food travels. So
it does. And,
you know,
I know Terry Rohn is on here tonight. And Terry, thank you for tuning in. Me and Terry's cooked enough together. He probably knows what I'm going to say before I say it, because we've had these conversations. But of course, Big Extreme have got some wonderful rubs that pair well with about anything you want to pair them with. And Danny and Kay and Terry've got some great products. There's great products on the market anywhere you want to go. It's just you got to figure out how you want to balance those, and that's your key, is those balanced flavors. And not only your rubs, balancing your wood, balancing your smoke, balancing your grilled flavor, balancing all that stuff comes into a flavor profile. So don't forget that your marinade, all of it.
Right.
The Worcestershire sauce. You know, I mean.
Yep.
I had a judge tell me not long ago, said every steak that came through tasted like Worcestershire. Said, well, it wasn't mine because I was using Wilsonshire.
There you go.
Anyway, you know, but anyway, you know, a little bit of that stuff goes a long way. Just
it does.
Small
tweaks, and that's what people don't realize. And you know, cooking competition steaks the way y'all do with some of the best steak cookers in the United States, you know, going head to head. It's the little things that just make that steak stand out and is so dadgum good. I had an opportunity to eat. I know I tried Terry steak. I tried Matt's steak when we was at the American Royal at that steak cook-off that night. I think I tried Marissa's. I think she cut me a piece. And I mean, just, I could have sat down and knocked out the whole steak. They were so good, you know. And it's because it's balanced. It's not, you know, in your face. It's just really, really, really good flavor. And you could just sit there and eat the whole thing. So, and it's part of it. So
part of it. And of course, you know, we got some, the real Cynthia comes on here and says Montreal is the best rub for steak. Everybody's got an opinion. And the thing about that is, in competition, it's a little bit different than what you'd have in your backyard. You've got to get some flavors that's really going to hit, because the judge is going to take one bite and it's going to be the size of your thumbnail. And so
Yeah.
you've got to enhance it just like your barbecue.
Yeah.
And keep it in mind and watch it. If you try a rub and it tastes a little bit hot or a little bit salty, be sure and try those rubs on your product.
Right.
You 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 don't show up at the contest and practice at the contest. You
Right.
just to get to where you're competing at a high level on every hand. You just got to bite the bullet. I know we're all busy, but we got to practice at home some and get those flavors and stuff down. And your technique, practice.
Yeah. I think you hit it right there. Technique, technique, technique. And I know a lot of people do a practice. And I want to run through one thing real quick, and I forgot to do it at the top of the hour. But I want to do this real quick because we did want to always thank our partners that help us, and we've got a new one that I want to talk about. So this is a good time to do it. Always, we couldn't do what we do without these guys. Be Extreme, Mr. Danny. Thank you and Kay for what y'all do. B&B Charcoal, they finally have kind of gotten over the curve. It seems like I'm seeing it more and more everywhere now. I think the COVID stuff has helped. Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford, his Crawford Barbecue products that he has. Papa Joe Grilling Supply in Hutto, Texas. I know he just said he's got your new sauce. It just came in, and I think he's even got your new rub. We will talk about that here in a little bit because I tried it on some ribs last week. I'll give you my opinion. Gunter Wilhelm, if you want some knives, they are probably one of the absolute best knives I've ever come across. Y'all's new website, steakrubs.com. That's your site for you and Ronald with all your rubs. I know you're bringing in more rubs as we speak. You've got new people coming down the pike. It's not going to just be steak. It's going to be barbecue everything.
Right.
Dustin at the barbecue store. I know he just brought in the Midwest Dust. I saw him post that today. And so check him out at the barbecue store. That's Dustin Stanley down in Hempstead, Texas. Our newest partner that we just brought in and talked with them last week is Raider Red Meats. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Raider Red Meats, but Raider Red Meats is a part of the Texas Tech University. And what they do is their agriculture department goes in and they cut all these beefs. They've got steaks, they've got ribs, they've got brisket, they've got certain cuts. They dry age everything. It's all done in-house, and the profits that they make off of that actually goes to support scholarships for students at Texas Tech University and the College of Agriculture and Science and Natural Resources. And so we just partnered with them to help us out on some of the stuff that we do. But there's a lot of times that, people may be looking to get good steaks, and if you live in rural areas and stuff and you don't have access to Sam's or good stores, they told me about a couple packages, and I just kind of wanted to share them. So they have a premium choice aged ribeye steaks, and these are they're aged for 30 days. And they are two 14-ounce ribeye steaks. These are choice. And they said they're anywhere between an inch and a quarter thick. So it's very close to what the SEA gives you guys. Right. It's $46 for two 14-ounce steaks. The freight to get them to you is about $40 to ship them. So it may be a little high, but if you're out in a rural area where you can't get good meat, this is a way to get really good beef. If you want prime, you can get prime for $60, same amount of freight on shipping them, and they even have Wagyu. I think they're $60 for one of their Wagyus. But they're all product is aged for 30 days. It's vacuum sealed, and it's going to help a good college. Texas Tech, well, what they do is outstanding, and I just thought it was kind of neat. I was like, look, we're going to have a lot of steak cookers on here, and there may be some people that just have trouble finding steaks. So if you're interested, look up Raider Red Meats, and they've got a website, and it's departments.ttu.edu /meat science, and it'll just take you right into them. But I just Googled Raider Red Meats, and there's a lot of people that might need that, and I'm glad that we can offer that. They ship anywhere in the United States, and they're great people to work for. So anyway. But you're right. The practice, the techniques, you cannot do this just when you get to a competition. And, it's so important to have the techniques down, and And I got a chance to see you, and I got a chance to see Ronald and Marissa, Matt, Will, all you guys. You know, Alan, Shauna, and I got to see like some of your techniques. You know, like cooking in the class and cooking. But I tell you where it was really cool is when we did the Clash of the Titans. Because now I'm catching you guys not where I'm constantly interrupting you because asking you questions, this, that, yeah, we're seeing it, why you do it. But now, and I know that's got to probably disrupt you guys a little bit because I'm asking you questions you probably never was expecting to be asked, and you may not have wanted to answer it, but you answered it anyway because I told you we don't cut. So, right. And that's how I get all the information out of you people. But when we did Clash of the Titans, the ultimate stake showdown, you going up against Shauna, Terry going up against Matt, and then the winner of them advancing off, and then you going up against Terry in the finale, it was really, really cool to see you guys in your element without nobody interrupting you, asking you questions, to see the techniques and things that y'all do. You know, we showed 23 minutes of that hour and a half, 2 hour filming.
Right.
And you know, that's where I gave Terry, you know, the nickname Iceman. And I saw you over there and just watching what you're doing and your techniques, and you're in your element, man. And Terry was in his element. And it's just like, Terry was like, I mean, it was just so freaking smooth. You, Shauna, Matt, all of y'all was in this zone. And it's like y'all knew exactly what you was doing. I think I could have blindfolded any of you guys, and maybe that's what we ought to do, a Clash of the Titans blindfold. The only time we're going to let you do anything is just to read your probes. So, but it is just goes to show that it's just, and I forgot, Terry, muscle memory. I think it was Terry that, muscle memory, just, and I think that has so much to do with it. And anyway.
Just that Clash of the Titans, I don't know. I hope everybody's watched that, but if you hadn't, go back and watch that right there. If you really want to pick up some stuff, get on that Clash of the Titans. That was a awesome event. I was just tickled to death to be a part of that, much less get on there and win the thing. And it was all so close, you know, to win either way. But to come out on top on something like that. Now, let me tell you, you know, Terry Roan, you gave him that nickname, Iceman, and he was over there. You know, Terry's a little intimidating watching him. You know, he'll psych you out. Yeah. But you hollered over at me and you said, John, what kind of nickname you think we ought to give you? I said, I don't care as long as you call me Champ when it's over with.
Sure enough.
Anyway, and you know, I just tried to stay as focused as I could and let that old hasty bake and Arc-Sip combo do the talking. And at the end of the day, it was a great day. But I enjoyed it immensely. To be able in competition. The one thing I would have loved to have been able to do is go up against Matt Oakes. Oh yeah. I didn't get to go head to head with Matt. Right. Matt is probably one of the best steak cooks in the world. And me and him's battled it out for years. And I think people get a stigma about us that we don't like one another. Well, I can tell you, well, I think the world of Matt Oakes, and then I think that he would say the same thing for me. I know one thing, he's a great cook, and I love his family, Marissa. There's no sweeter, you know. Oh,
she's a sweetheart.
But you know, just because you're in competition with somebody and you're battling it out with them out there, don't mean you don't like them. You know, right. I root for everybody when they win, and I would like to think they're going to root for me. But here's the deal: in a nutshell, I would have really loved to win head to head with them, and maybe one day we'll get to do that. But that was a great. And I guarantee you, anybody would go back and watch that will pick up something from that. Oh yeah, that was a neat deal. Yeah. Terry said you better have the pop, but not overpowering. That's right. And he's talking about that balanced flavor. You got to have a little something, but keep it reined in, keep it in check. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Well, you know, we've talked a lot about flavor profiles, techniques, things like that, things that'll help the steak cookers, you know, get better and practice. I think that has a lot to do with it. Right. I could tell just by when we was doing Clash of the Titans, seeing y'all in that competitive mode, you know, I could tell there was a lot of practice that went in to doing what y'all do. I saw you do something when you took that steak off, and you was like, "Oh my gosh, it's," and you did something. I'm not going to give it away, and we're going to keep that hush hush. And I was like, "What are you doing?" "You'll see, brother." And sure enough, and you was like, "I'm good." And
you looked
I was
at me like I was crazy. Didn't
I was like, "What are you doing? Have you lost your mind? What are you doing?
What are you doing with that?"
What are you?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And we ain't gonna film this, But there was something that you did that, it saved the day.
Mm-hmm.
It saved the day. After the cook, it saved the day. And it was phenomenal. But but we've definitely seen the techniques. We've talked about that. We've talked about the cleanliness of the grill, the grate. I remember Terry was very big about those dang grill grates, buddy. They better be spotless. Yeah. I mean, Terry's grill grates, you could eat off them things. They're just spotless. And he talks about how clean they need to be. So, and yours look like a mirror. I mean,
get you almost one of them metal toothbrushes.
Oh yeah.
And just keep straight.
Keep them clean.
The thing about that is, and that's part of the technique, a good clean grill grate, I don't want any of that black stuff popping up on my steak. If I'm in between the lines, I want it to be clear. I want it to be good color. I don't want to see those black specks. And good clean grill grates does that for me.
Yep.
So I want to make sure my grills are clean. And Ronald Burns is one of the guys. I've never seen anybody keep a stainless steel grill any cleaner than him, but he spends hours cleaning those grills. But I think it pays off as time goes through. I just really do. Good clean grill.
Absolutely. We probably are in a little bit of trouble here, John.
Uh-oh.
You see who just popped on?
Carly.
Yeah, finally. Her birthday's the 20th. Mm-hmm. She's coming after y'all on the 30th to cook her first adult one.
Well,
and now she's over here learning a lot more. So
I don't know how many people were on the show last night, but Carly was she's normally the first person that chimes in on our show. And so what we decided to do, me and Ronald, last night, Ronald came up with this, but this is what we decided to do. Arkansas Smoke Live is going to pay her entry fee to her very first steak cook-off. We're going to get to be a part of that. And so, Carly, we're looking forward to seeing you. We want you to go up there and tear up Jack now. We're going to
There it is.
And then you got to come on the show and tell us how you done it.
Oh, goodness, that is good. Now, how deadly would it be if she were to get a hold of some of y'all's classes?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're right.
I mean...
you put all that together with her. Now, she's a fireball already, but that's almost like winding the Energizer Bunny up and turning them loose.
Turning them loose and letting them go.
Yep.
This is the most friendly and ultra-competitive sport I've ever been involved in. It's the only positive thing that the pandemic brought into my life. Ain't that for sure? So I love my SCA family, absolutely. So, oh, goodness. Yeah, Carly, Terry agrees. So, thank y'all so much. I'm so ready. I bet she is. So
I just saw Connie Stegall on here just a minute ago. And just to let you guys know, Connie started with the classes, and you can watch her if you'll follow her on her Instagram or Facebook. She does a lot of Instagram stuff. You can look at some of the food she's putting out right now, and you can see how she's progressed. I was watching the other day. We've got tons of those people that are learning how to layer those flavors. We call it Layerology 101, using the techniques, and it's a success story, and it follows them wherever they go.
Yeah, it does.
Brent's on here. There's Alan Jackson. We're seeing a lot of folks. Steve Noble is one of them. Him and his entire family has just done lights out. They're winning almost every weekend now. So it works. It just works.
Oh, yeah. It does. It does.
And I want to say, I know we got a lot more to do in 11 minutes here, but I was at a contest up north not long ago, and we were sitting there in awards. And out of the double, I'll bet you I knew of 80% of those that had taken a barbecue champs class.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
There was one guy that called it out in each top 10. If these classes are helping, I'm not talking about just mine. I'm talking about all these pit masters, whether it be Mark Lambert, Robbie Royal, Craig Sherry, Corey Mice, Lee, any
Robert,
of them,
all of them,
Terry, Shauna,
David.
Alan Newton. they took the time to come and share. Be sure and give them a shout out. I'm not talking about me. Would love to have the shout out, but for anyone that would give up their time and their secrets to be able to put it out, I just thank everybody that has saw fit to shout mine out, and I
Right.
appreciate it. But that does really help. It really helps morale, and if it's helped you, give back. Tell somebody about it.
Right.
And that's something I wanted to throw in there. But I think that's important.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Some of these top winners, you'd be surprised whose classes they've taken.
Oh yeah, I see them every week. We know who's taking the classes, and we see it. And a lot of them have given shout outs. They were doing it a lot more last year, and it's one of them things. It just maybe they just feel like they shouldn't do it no more, don't have to, but they still give shout outs to their their sponsors on rubs and this and that.
You hope
Give a shout out for the guy that helped get you there too. I think that's kind of the most important thing, because that helps you. Let's face it, you don't make a whole lot of money on rubs.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little bit of money on your class, so it just kind of helps y'all to continue to do, the same thing. And yet at the same time, here's the big kicker. Y'all don't have to continue to give everybody your techniques and rubs and things that change along the way on the Facebook page. That's not what it was. It was there to ask questions. Mm-hmm. Out of the goodness of y'all's heart, every one of y'all have went in and said, okay, here's what I'm doing now. Here's what I'm doing now. That was not what that was for. That was there if y'all chose to do that.
Mm-hmm. And Terry's been really good about it.
Yeah, Terry has done it, and everybody has. If there's changes that have come along, and I just sometimes feel like, man, y'all quit giving these guys shout outs, but yet they're still giving you guys nuggets of things that they're doing, and I sometimes wonder, like, man, that's help them out. I mean, they're continuing to help you. You don't get to go take somebody's state class in person and then they, hey, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing. Every month they want to know what you're doing. I mean, it doesn't work that way. You go one time, you get it, and that's it. So they may talk to you here or there, but nothing like the information that y'all are giving in these private Facebook pages. So anyway, well, man, I know you've got some new rubs and stuff. You just got through releasing the sweet thing. The all queued up sweet thing. I tried it on some ribs last week. I was doing a class, and man, I'm telling you what, very, very, very well balanced rub. It tastes amazing out of the bottle, and I was like, man, I can't wait to put this on some ribs. So I grabbed that, and I grabbed some of the all queued up steak shake because it needed a little bit of salt. Mm-hmm. I thought it could just need a little bit more pop, so I hit it with that. I hit it with the sweet thing. And then this new sauce that you've got, all sauced up. I love the name. Very, very well balanced. Man, you knocked it out the park with that. I keep, as good as my ribs have been doing, I was like, man, I really would like to sneak that in there. and just see what would happen, but it's just so hard to, if my ribs fall off, I promise you, I'm pulling that thing out.
Well, keep us in mind if your ribs fall off. But
yeah, trust me, I really love that stuff, and
I appreciate it.
You did a really good job with that. You really did. So
I had several KCBS and IBCA cooks or judges. I'm sorry,
right,
that prototyped the sweet thing for me.
Yeah.
And I will be honest with you, I had about 60% of that group said that was the best rub that they'd ever, best pork rub, chicken rub that they'd ever put in their mouth out of the box.
Yeah, it's delicious.
And then the other ones said that the other group there, about the other 20%, said it was one of the best. So I thought that was pretty high cotton to have those.
Those KCBS judges, yeah.
And a lot of these folks, honestly, they prototype me and Ronald, stereotype me and Ronald, right, as steak cooks only. But we were cooking barbecue way before we ever cooked steak. Yeah. And so I mixed my sauce 50-50 with Ronald's. That's a very good competition hit when you do so. Either one is very good out of the bottle if you're going to do backyard, whatever.
Perfect.
But you can mix those together for a layer of flavors extra. I use the all queued up sweet thing along with the Climax. I like to use some of the Double X Bam also, and and then it does pair well with my go-to barbecue
Yeah.
rub. They're two totally different ones, and so we use that on pork. We've got a new video out with Bama QTV
Okay.
that's back porch ribs, and if you go to the Bama Q television site website, it's the first recipe on there. It's on the iPhone app, but you'll see John Lindsey back porch ribs. We show you how we layer those rubs with the ribs. So
Right.
we're excited about them, and they're on the website and at our retailers. We're trying to get it in there now.
Right.
And Mike, before we move on, and I know I've got a couple of other things I want to share with you, but before we move on, I just want to say that at the end of the month, by the 1st of November, everybody will have it. The new Rockin' Rooster bird brine will be coming out.
Okay.
It is a turkey and chicken brine deluxe. I mean, it's got it all in there, and it is probably pound for pound one of the best products I've ever put out. A lot of research went into that brine. It's great for competition, but for your holiday turkeys.
Oh, turkeys, man, yeah.
You can't hardly, in your holiday dishes, you can't hardly beat that. Put the Rockin' Rooster and a little Climax on top of it, and you've got a winning turkey for your family. We will be having all that in stores by the 1st of November. And we're working on that now, trying to get that bottled up and getting them out to
that is awesome. Congratulations. That's going to be big for Thanksgiving. I mean, a good brine and that Rockin' Rooster stuff, it is awesome. So man, I tell you what, you've had some great stuff come out, you and Ronald both, and I just absolutely love the product that you're putting out. That sweet thing, like I said, when I tried it out of the bottle, I was like, this is going to be a home run. So congratulations, and your sauce tastes really good.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Just for a backyard sauce right out the bottle, you can't beat it. For competition, I do think you could kind of blend some things to get a little bit more pop to it for competition. But man, you've done an amazing thing. So
it's made to blend, and it's made to be an element in a bigger, just like Ronald's sauce.
Right.
I don't know of anybody that uses one sauce out of the bottle,
No.
even Blues Hawk. And so we kind of built these to layer and to blend, and the sauce was no exception. I sold a pallet of it today, and people like it, so we're excited about that. And I do have one thing that we've been working on, and I'm going to put it out on your show, and I wanted to do that tonight.
Okay.
And for anybody that knows my son, John Walker, me and John Walker, I get to go see him every other week. He's doing so well where he's at. I want to thank everybody for your continued prayers and support. Most everyone knows he's in a Christian-based rehab facility down in DeWitt, Arkansas, and he's just doing absolutely wonderful. And thank you for everything. And we're closer than we've ever been in our lives.
He looks great.
We've been blessed. Yeah, he's lost some weight.
A lot of weight. He looks good.
I'd like to see him put a little bit more of that back on, but what dad don't want to see his son fattened up just a little bit. But
yeah.
We've got a new product alert that we've been working on together, and it's called J-Dub's Reserve Blend All Purpose. It is a new product that we'll be coming out with probably around the 1st of the year. It's going to have that hickory and grilled, and it's an all-purpose seasoning that you're going to really like. It's not like anything else on the market. And a proceed of that product will go to support an organization that helps with alcohol and drug dependency. We will be giving back with that product, probably to ARM 180, where he's at now. He wants to have something that he can give back
right
to others and get them some help like he's been helped. And so I'm going to help him get this developed, and that'll be coming down the pike. That's a big announcement that we've never let out. I've not told us.
Wow, that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome, man alive. Well, that I know that's got to make you feel good, and giving back to an organization and something like that that's helped your son. He was in a tough situation, and you got him the help he needs, and he's turned it around. He looks great, and I'm sure he's ready to get out and start cooking again. So
he is, and he's doing absolutely wonderful. And
that's good.
When you try this J-Dub's Reserve blend, we're working on labeling now, but it'll be a unique product. I promise. Good. And I know we're going to have to shut this thing down. You get me and you on here, and we can talk.
We can go forever, yeah.
But I do want to say this: there's a contest this weekend that's near and dear to our heart in Illinois. It's Got Your Six Support Dogs will be the group that will be benefiting from this contest. Bob Gonzalez, Sheila Clute, promoters of this contest. Carol Burtison, Candace Rogers will be the reps. They do an absolutely wonderful job. Bob and Sheila have done a phenomenal job with this. Soldiers and those that have served with PTSD, we have so many people struggling with things that we'll never know about. Mm-hmm. With this contest, we're going to be able to give back and serve those that have served us. That's We've got a Friday night cook and a double on Saturday. And the unique thing on Friday night is we're doing a backyard boot camp where we take a new cook and bring them in with the pros and cook with them. And it's in Columbia, Illinois. Folks, if you haven't looking for a place to cook this weekend, or if you just want to donate, check Got Your Six Support Dogs out. Check out Bob Gonzalez on his page. It'll tell you a lot about that. But I'm just telling you, we wouldn't have it any other way. We're going to go support those that have given the ultimate sacrifices for us. So I did want to say that.
Absolutely. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Man. Yeah. Joey's done the same thing with the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, men and women suffering, and he has helped so many people. And this week, and I've got to mention this, Josh Hale was one of the first students that he had, one of the first people that he had come through his program. He suffered, he was in I think he was either the Army or the Marines, I can't remember. He suffered from PTSD. He was one of the very, very first ones that went through Joey's program. Joey hooked him up with everything. This was in August of last year. It was at El Campo. We had El Campo in August of this year, so it's been a little over 1 year. I think he had a second place brisket call there with 70-something teams that was there. He was ecstatic. And then this weekend, he had his first ever grand champion 1 year after he had went through that deal with Joey. So Josh, man, congratulations to you. He told me that this has been life-changing for him to be able to learn this, art, sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it, a barbecue, and the family that he has made during this time. So yes, it is amazing at what it does, and I've certainly got to give props to Josh, and big first place grand champion this weekend over at Waxahachie, Texas. I think that was the competition. It was awesome. It was so awesome to see. So it's awesome. It really
Congratulations.
is. Absolutely.
Well, we saw a veteran, Chance Brown. The Marty Plute actually took under his wing down in Georgia at a cook, and Chance actually come up and beat Marty that day. and that was his first cook. And Marty took a hold of that. Marty's he's kind of a military background with his family and things like this. Sheila, his wife, is a very special person. She has a very great heart and is a giver, and Bob Gonzalez is too. And it just tied in. And of course, you put Candace and Carol with this, they're going to give you everything they got anytime they come. So this is shaping up. I believe there's 61 signed up for Saturday. We've got some people that supported this. We've got room for more, so come on out and enjoy it. And Mike, we're looking for those contests we're not looking for contests that folks are with the lowest numbers out there. We're looking for contests, the ones that can help somebody. That's why we're going to this contest. We want to be able to give back with our entry fees and the things we're doing. We're sponsoring some of this, and so we couldn't ask for a better setup. We hope to see you there, everybody. If you do come by the Arcasipi Alley and say hello, me and Ronald will be down there, and we'd be excited to see all of you.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, John, man, I appreciate you being on. Congratulations to your big win this weekend. Congratulations on the success of all your rubs and now your new sauce that you've got out to you and both Ronald as well. If you want to go check them out, steakrubs.com, steakrubs.com. Go check them out. They're going to have a banging site by the time they get all these new rubs in there. Not only theirs, but all these other ones that they're slowly bringing in as well. And I really do appreciate, John, you being on the show tonight. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I think we had a lot of really good technical stuff tonight, the techniques, the flavor profiles, the things that you need to be doing. To me, that's what it's all about. We're going to keep trying to bring these type of shows every week. You know, we try to dig in, and you know, sometimes it's all about the technique. Sometimes it's just hearing somebody's barbecue journey. But that's what history is formed, you know, and to me, that's what it's all about. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great show. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. John, thank you. Good luck this coming up weekend.
Thank you.
And as we always say, have a lot of fun, smoke on, and Lord willing, we'll see y'all next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central.